Welcome to a day in the life of the Onguma Reserve. In this 6-episode series, we follow the men and women who have dedicated their lives to preserving and protecting this piece of wilderness and the wildlife that call it their home. This is the season finale, the place you never want to leave. It's just after lunchtime on the Onguma Reserve. All the managers have left on their team building getaway, whilst the remaining staff members stay at base to ensure everything runs smoothly. Each guide is responsible for their own vehicle. They take this time to prepare for their designated afternoon activities. The schedules are split up evenly so every guide has enough time to ensure their various tasks are completed. In the course of the last few episodes, we have shown you most of our activities, but we have left the favorite amongst our guides for last: the Young Explorers Walk.
Do you know, this needs to be told. Victor, how long has Victor been working here? Like 6-7 years, something like that. Victor has never ever done a kiddies walk. He's never done a kiddies walk. He's too focused. He's never done a kiddies walk. What?
Yeah, because you love it, man loves it.
Kiddies walks are great. Bye.
A family safari is one of the best gifts for children, as they will be inspired to explore the African bush and enjoy learning in a fun and interactive way. It is with this in mind that we offer our Young Explorers Walk at Onguma Bush Camp. Leave your kids in the hands of our trusted guides who will ensure they are entertained. After lunch, our staff return to their duties. Let's catch up with Evelyn, as she is busy working on the brand new Onguma staff uniforms. One of our campsites is located within the secure perimeters of Bush Camp. If you enjoy camping but are looking for something more exclusive, Leadwood Campsite has 6 campsite locations, each with their very own ablutions and kitchen area, in walking distance from Bush Camp's swimming pool and restaurant. About 200 kilometers away from Onguma, our managers are knee-deep in team-building challenges under Gary's watchful eyes, ensuring ample entertainment for all.
You may get disqualified. Please. Where would you find this hanging around in the bush? Please, guys, please. Remember,
You say anything on the...
use as much garbage as you can. This, you will get disqualified. You will get disqualified. Be careful.
The water is going to be rough, so we need to test.
Maris, go away. Cheating.
No, be sure.
Peter!
No sabotaging anyone's boat. No dunking of anyone in the pool. please.
Okay.
On your mark.
While Yona is busy trying to get his little duckies to swim, his APU team are now in the capable hands of his second in charge. Everything continues as planned. The protection of our wildlife, most imperative. To prevent wildlife crime such as poaching and snaring, one has to ensure that one's neighboring communities are supported and taken care of. Wildlife crime is, after all, a product of extreme poverty and the need to survive. Onguma shares a border with the Oshivelo community along the northeastern side of the property. In 2012, Onguma concluded a partnership agreement with the Crunchies, a local farming family, and so the Oshivelo farming project was created. One of our major objectives was to create jobs on a large scale for the local Oshivelo community. With over 200 employees, 80% of them women, Oshivelo farming now supplies fruits and vegetables countrywide. Most importantly, the families within the communities are now able to send their children to school and put food on their tables. Let's join David and Kola at Fisher's Pan, one of the best birding sites in Etosha, which attracts spectacular birds such as flamingos.
A very good example of one of my biggest struggles of driving in this game viewer is you stop to have a chat, or sometimes I'm looking at the bird and the cars. I don't know if you can get the car there. They'll always stop in a queue behind you to see what is the game viewer looking at, and it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating, especially for me. I'm a birder, so sometimes I'm really just looking at the little brown bird, and when I look up again there's like 3 cars behind me trying to see what is the game viewer looking at. No, that's a guide struggle.
This is Fisher's Pen, this part that you see. It's about 37 square kilometers more actually east facing Onguma. Fisher's Pen, it's also actually supplied water from Omuramba or Wambo, the river that passes through Onguma.
This Omuramba makes its way through the Onguma Reserve, past our Makalani palm forest, the perfect nesting grounds for over 100 breeding pairs of white-backed vultures. The survival of a number of vulture species hangs in the balance, with 6 species occurring in Namibia. All are listed as endangered or critically endangered. The ringing and tagging of vulture chicks is best done between September and October, and aids in providing critical data which researchers use to understand their migratory patterns and to establish their population status. It has been months in the making, but we are finally ready to welcome our first guest to Onguma Camp Kala.
I like what I do. I'm in the bush,
Yeah, this is home. This is, yeah, how further I can be from people a bit. There's a very funny saying. They say, the more I learn about people, the more I love animals. But yeah, you can't explain it to somebody if they don't live it every day. And yeah, I spoke to one of my friends somewhere last year, and they said, you have to be willing to stand up 2 o'clock in the morning and go work, or 4 o'clock in the morning and for emergency, and don't complain. Then you love what you do. I've done it many times. Have to run out at 2 o'clock in the morning or 4 in the morning. It just challenges you the whole time. So it's like flipping lekker. I mean, I can't put it otherwise.
Peter and his team now get to head off on a well-deserved holiday after managing to successfully open Kala on time.
Okay, Chandra, it's yours. 2, 1, let's go.
Back at our team building event, the Potjie competition has begun. Our managers are placed in groups and have to cook a traditional Southern African stew dish.
This one doesn't smell like fish, right?
It's better. When we do something, we know it's the best for the pot.
I've got definitely the best team here so far. I know they are much more professional, but I think with the mum factor involved here, I think we are far ahead. Mums have love. Love makes the best food, eh?
Kola now shares with us some insights as to what you could expect as a guest joining one of our activities.
When you come to Ongoma as a guest, we have different activities. We have the Etosha AM drive, which we do in the mornings, or you can do a bushwalk, and then we have normally a sundowner on the property itself, or you can go back into Etosha for the afternoon as well. So these are your 4 options, and 4 completely different experiences. But I think it's quite important to know that it's not a zoo. So this is a very wide open space, and we have a few roads. There's no off-road driving, so sometimes you have a sighting, especially like a cheetah. It can be really far away, and then you need binoculars. That's all you have, and there's nothing that we can do to get it closer to you. And already to just see the cheetah, it's special, and it's I think a privilege. You must see it in that way. The guides work really hard to find sightings, but some days we come into the park and we see absolutely no of the big game. So we see zebra and giraffe, wildebeest, normal plains game. And sometimes you come into the park and you are really lucky and you see quite a lot of things. But it can go either way. And if it was just the same every day, that we see everything and we see everything, that would make my job quite boring, I think. So it's the way it is, and I think either way you must not come with a lot of expectations, because then you create an opportunity for yourself to be disappointed. So it's all about the mindset that you come here, just ready to take whatever the guide has to offer to you, whether it's about telling you about grass, which can be really interesting, or birds. Just listen, and I think if you really listen and give the guide the opportunity to show you what the place has to offer, at least at Ongoma, with our guides, you cannot be disappointed.
Expect the unexpected. Enjoy an Etosha drive in one of our open-sided vehicles, accompanied by some of our most knowledgeable guides. The perfect way to unwind.
We've got something for everybody. It doesn't matter what your budget is, what type of experience you're wanting, we can offer it. And that for me is great. It's lovely to work with, because we know we will find the right place for the right people on our properties. So that for me makes it very, very special. I also think that we're always trying to do better, trying to be different, trying to bring wacky ideas, strange things together, and take a chance. If they work, they work. If they don't, we refine them. So for me, it's always the challenge that there's never a dull moment. We've always looking for new challenges. We never rest on our laurels. We're always looking for the next best new thing around.
We have learned so much about the Onguma Reserve over the last few months. But what does Onguma actually mean? In the native Oshivambu tongue, Onguma means the place you never want to leave. And this applies to everyone here, doesn't it, Gary?
I arrived to work here for 3 months to help out, and I just never left. That was 10 years ago. So that just shows it's a place you never want to leave. Will I leave? Well, I'm getting older, so maybe one of these days I'll have to go and rest and go on pension. But yeah, well, until then, I'm here, I'm working, and we'll see.
Back at the Bush Camp Laundry, our staff uniforms are finally ready for their first fitting.
Donovan, I see you aren't doing your maintenance work, you're busy washing. Do you want to come and try on the small?
I'm too small.
Too small? Do you need the extra small? This one? This is your orange, you think it's a good one for
orange,
bush camp?
it's for bush camp.
Yeah, looks nice.
And you are from Ondera. That thing is maybe from Wamboland, eh?
Yeah.
From where?
Bush camp.
Fort.
You see,
This is Fort.
Where is that Fort Bagina?
If you have enjoyed this series and would like to know how you can make a difference, let's hear it firsthand from Yona.
If I can tell them anything, it's you know, to visit, because through visiting, you know, you make everything possible. Conservation, creating jobs, and all of that. But you know, God asked 3 things of us. It is to live on earth, to work on earth, and to protect earth. And I think all of us are doing the first 2, but not all of us are doing the 3rd one. And that's why, one thing I always think of is if we look after earth better than we are doing now, I think that will be more pleasant for everybody on earth. And yeah, come visit Namibia.
As some campers arrive back from their day out in Etosha, we meet up with them at our 2nd campsite location, Tamboti Luxury Campsite. The perfect stopover for guests wanting quick access to the park. Only 1.5 kilometers from Von Lingdequist Gate, with a wonderful restaurant overlooking a bustling waterhole. We also meet up with our lion pride that decided to have a sunset drink after their kill earlier in the day. Another day comes to an end, and so does our docu-series. Our managers have had a weekend away to blow off some steam and prepare for another busy season ahead. We'd like to thank you for sharing this journey with us. Until next time.
I'm leaving now for the doctors in Tsumeb. The reason being, yeah, we found the tracks of the poachers, we tracked them, we found them, they jumped up, shot at us, we shot back, we shot one poacher. I had to save his life, and then the other one ran away, and this morning we found that he has left the reserve. So one is captured, well, by gunshot wounds, and the other one has got away. So yeah, we shot at each other on Tuesday, and it's now Thursday. So yeah, I wasn't at home or anything. When we were running through the bushes after them, or trying to arrest them, trying saving him was the hardest thing I had to do. I wanted to, you know, not do it, but I had to, and it was crazy. So I'm quite drained. I'm taking a break. I'll be back on Sunday.